just for information. Make sure it gets going. Okay. Good. Just got a text from Kevin Ritter. He says he's on his way home, and he might be a couple minutes late.
Okay.
Hi, Danny. Hi, Kevin. Can you hear us okay? The audio working? All right. Wait a minute. Did you both say something just then?
They both did, but they didn't come through.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. Let's see what's going on.
I'm back on.
Ah, there we go. Okay. I got you.
Okay.
Kevin, how about you?
All right. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah. Yep, I can hear you now. Okay, thanks. And yeah, those in the room, make sure your mics are on, or the YouTube video won't hear you.
Patrick, you probably need to turn your mic on over there. It's right behind your screen.
Only if you're talking.
Okay, I have 7 o'clock. I would like to call the February 18th DeSoto City Council meeting to order. Start with roll call, please.
Lane,
Here.
Daniels,
Here?
Michael,
Here.
Murdoch,
Here.
Ritter, and he's going to be a few minutes late, I think Mike said.
Okay.
That's right.
I would invite you all to please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Okay. First item tonight's our consent agenda. We have approval of our minutes from the council meeting on February 4th, approval of pay ordinance number 896, and approval of a farm lease with Thane Palmberg. Any discussion of a consent agenda item or a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Michael,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Daniels,
Yes.
Murdoch,
Yes.
and I believe Kevin's still absent.
Yeah, still gone.
Thank you. Council motion carried, Mayor.
Okay, next item is approval of pay ordinance number 896A. So for the record, I would like to reiterate, I guess, that Councilman Ritter has not joined the meeting yet. A motion to approve, please.
I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance 896A.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Daniels,
Yes.
Murdoch.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Motion carried.
All right, item 2 is call to public. Members of the public are welcome to use this time to comment about any matter relating to city business not listed on tonight's agenda. The comments that are discussed under call to public may or may not be acted on by the council during the meeting. Does anyone wish to address the council tonight under call to public? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on. We have old business, which we have none, so item 4, new business, approve 2021 strategic plan update. Mike?
Yes, council, not a whole lot to introduce. New here, this is the version of the strategic plan that we went over last time at the last council meeting, and council directed to bring this version back with a resolution to formally adopt it. So this is our 2021
All right.
annual review.
And the resolution number is
1042, Mayor.
1042. Any discussion or questions regarding the resolution? Would someone like to make a motion that we approve?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 1042, updating the City of DeSoto strategic plan.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any discussion of the motion? All right. Seeing none, hearing none, we'll go to roll call, please.
Michael,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Daniels,
Yes.
Murdoch.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Motion carried.
Okay. Item 4B is approve our resolution to adopt our 5-year CIP.
Yes, council, much the same as the last action. We discussed this update at the last meeting, and we're comfortable with the 5-year plan update as we have it now. The plan now goes for 2022 through 2026. So we've brought a resolution formally adopting that version.
Okay? Any questions for Mike on the resolution? Okay. Or a motion to?
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 1043, adopting the capital improvement plan for 2022 to 2026.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Did you get the second, Lana, by?
Lane.
Councilman Hunnam? Or, yeah, Lane, I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Daniels,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Murdoch.
Yes.
Do we have
It looks like Kevin has joined.
Yeah.
Ritter?
Yes, I apologize, council, I'm having technical difficulties, so, yes.
Thank you. I'm going to note the record that
All right, that he joined on that item. Okay,
ready, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Item 4C, consider final plat for Custom Foods. Brad?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. What you have before you is a final plat for Custom Foods. They're working on an addition to their headquarter facilities for Mr. Goodsense. There's now 3 lots on this tract. The first lot has the Mr. Goodsense headquarters. The second tract will have an expansion, basically a warehouse and support facilities for additional growth and development for Custom Foods. The site plan has been through the Planning Commission and went through the standard procedures, technical review. Mike reviewed it as well as I, and the site plan was approved in August of 2020. So they are now getting ready to complete or start their project. They do have to get the plat filed before they can be issued a building permit.
Okay.
So with that, it's a pretty standard final plat. We do have the delayed improvements clause that Patrick has put together, and we've devised for, mostly for sidewalks, but it could be used for other instances as well. So really at this point, we just need the council to accept the easements and right-of-ways for the new street, which will be renamed West 90th Street. Right now, it's a private road called Mr. Goodsense Drive, so it will be renamed West 90th Street.
Okay. Any questions for Brad on the plat? All right, hearing none, someone want to make a motion to approve
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we approve,
or accept, sorry.
or I guess it's accepting, yeah.
Yeah.
The easements and right-of-way for the final plat for quarter 10 Commerce Park 4th.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion of the motion? Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Ritter,
Yes.
Hanamichael,
Yes.
Daniels,
Yes.
Murdoch.
Yes.
Patrick, does Mayor approve the last one?
Plat?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Mayor, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Motion carried.
Okay. Item 4D, consider rezoning a 1.2 acre tract at 8145 Cedar Creek Road from RA to R1.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Council. What you have before you is a rezoning for a tract at 8145 Cedar Creek Road for Jean Hart. Ms. Hart is in the audience tonight, and basically, she'd like to build an additional residence on the tract. However, it's zoned agriculture at this point, and our regulations state that to split a tract, you need to have, in agriculture and build a residence, you have to have 10 acres as a minimum. She's got about 17 acres, so to split the tract, she wouldn't be able to build a home on the split tract. So she's in the process of rezoning the property. We did go through a process to make sure that, and the piece that's going to be rezoned is the existing residence, and she will keep the split off piece for her own second residence that she wants to build on the property. So there will be a lot split that does come after this, but the zoning had to come first before we could actually officially issue a lot split letter for this tract. So as you can see, that's the tract to be rezoned from agriculture, our rural agriculture, to R1. As I said, there is an existing residence on that site right now. We did go through the standard public notification process, notifications in the public record, send out letters to neighbors, did not hear any questions or comments or no concerns from anyone nearby. We did have a little bit of an issue, wanted to make sure the split tract or the new R1 tract contained the lateral field, so there was some additional coordination need to take place with our surveyor, Pruitt and Dooley, to make sure that the lateral field was indeed on the existing or the proposed R1 tract. So that's why you can see the sort of the shape farther west of the driveway on that area. That does contain the lateral field. With that, we did go through our standard questions and technical review. Basically, all of the items that we look at for the compatibility factors were positive. There were a few neutrals, or actually just one neutral. I mean, is it really that compelling that we need to have an additional large lot tract in DeSoto? We have many, but other than that, we're all positive, and as I said, there were no impacts to any utilities. There's no feedback from any of the neighbors on this item. The Planning Commission didn't have any particularly real objections or comments on this as well. So with that, Ms. Hart is here tonight if you have any questions for her, but I won't stand for any questions that you might have.
Okay. Questions from council? Anything here in the,
So the property has two different zonings on it at this point?
It will have for a short period of time
Okay.
until the lot split is submitted. And that is allowed under state statutes. You can have one tract that has two different zonings on it. But she does have plans. I know that Cameron has reviewed those plans, and I don't know if he's approved them yet, but I know they've been in for review, so I feel pretty confident that Ms. Hart's going to proceed with this project.
any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning request from RA to R1 at 8135 Cedar Creek Road.
I'll second the motion.
All right. We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 2506 rezoning. Did you get the second, Lana?
I had.
Lori, or?
Yeah, I had Lori first,
All right,
and Councilmember Honey Michael making the motion.
all right, very good. Any discussion of the motion? Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Daniels,
Yes.
Ritter,
Yes.
Honey Michael,
Yes.
Murdoch.
Yes.
Thank you, council.
Okay.
Motion carried.
Mayor.
Oh, Mayor, I
Yeah.
apologize, Mayor, I forgot you
All
again.
right.
Thank you, everyone.
Good luck finding a builder.
Oh, thank you.
And
I still have faith in Wayne. I just don't know where he is.
And thank you for coming out tonight.
yeah. It's nice to have someone in the audience on occasion.
Should I leave? Is there a private executive meeting after this, or?
No, we'll all be public. You can stay as long as you like, as long as you're entertained, so. Item 4E, consider extension of mowing contract. Patrick, are you
Yes.
going to introduce this?
Yes, council. We've done this now for several years, where we have simply extended the 2016 mowing contract with Kansas Land Management. They have requested a 2% increase over the 2020 rates, and those are reflected in Exhibit A. But when we discuss this internally, just thinking of the prospect of going out to bid, I think staff is comfortable that Kansas Land Management, we would not improve on the prices. So it's our recommendation that we simply extend the contract. I would note that in numbered paragraph 2 of the 5th addendum, there's reference to 2nd addendum, so I'd like to change that to 5th addendum.
Okay.
And Jay Garvin is supportive of this approach as well.
All right. Questions for Patrick? I would agree. They seem to do a real good job, and on the last mowing bid time we went out for bid, they were significantly lower, and
I'll make a motion, we approve the renewal of the mowing contract with Kansas Land Management by authorizing the mayor to sign the 5th addendum as described by Patrick.
I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, we'll go to roll call, please.
Ritter,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Hanamichael,
Yes.
Daniels,
Yes.
Murdoch.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. So the next item is executive session, which we do not have tonight, so we'll go to advisory reports. Mike, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, a few things. I've been forwarding emails from Evergy throughout the week about the rolling blackouts, although I don't think that's their term for them. Councilman Ritter might be able to shed more light on some of the inner workings there, but Dante McGrew, our liaison, has been very helpful in communicating those things to me before they are made public, and those are the emails that I've sent to you from their public information people. As of this afternoon, it looks like we're in the clear. Doesn't look like the service pool is expecting any more curtailment. So I think for now we're good, but certainly brings to light some of the hardships that other people in other parts of the country have had, and is just another one of those kind of a reminder that emergencies come in all shapes and forms, and this is not one that I ever remember sort of preparing for. You know, we did the emergency operations plan, and rolling blackouts, I think they might be mentioned in there, but it's just another indication of the importance of emergency management and our involvement with the county and those steps that we've taken recently. So that's comforting. But it does look like we're out of the woods for now. And Councilman Ritter, I don't know if you care to weigh in on that at all, or if I've said it all. We can certainly leave it there.
No, I believe you've done an excellent job of communicating that. You know, it's just unforeseen times with our STVP and you know, as a north to south region, we just done the very best we could to do the best with what we have. So yeah, great explanation there.
Good.
So the thing that this brought to mind that I called with Mike was we've had an emergency generator for City Hall on our minds for some time, have applied for grants before to get that, and we were unsuccessful.
Right.
I wanted to bring that maybe to the top of the pile again, so that because we know that what's happening in Texas could just as easily happened right here. Well, maybe we got a better grid in Texas. I don't know. I don't say it's, you know, we got Kevin Ritter working for Evergy here, so we know we're getting a better service. But having a backup generator would be fortuitous in the event of a major outage during cold weather, and as we could be a pretty big warming center, you know, for folks that were in trouble. So
Yeah.
I would like us to try and move to the top efforts to find funds through grants or other means for that emergency backup generator.
What kind of estimated price is something like that?
Well, do you remember, Mike?
I think we had somewhere around 50,000, but
That's what I said, it's less than 100, but
Yeah.
more than 50 is what I had in
Yeah,
my
50
head.
sounded low
Okay.
to me, but
I thought it was around 62.
That's kind of, I didn't want to throw an exact number out, Danny, but that's what I was thinking.
Kevin, are there any, through Evergy, any type
That
of,
was pretty specific, Danny.
any funding or grants through Evergy that would help out with something like that?
You know, I'm sure that, you know, we do our best to take part in every community that we serve. So I'm sure that there is. I'm not aware of any that come to the forefront, but I know that there are federal grants out there that will help us through emergency management or AFG grants that will at least meet us 50% with those costs. So I would be happy to work with anybody on the committee to work to see that we achieve that in a time frame that we all see that we need to. So whether that's working with our Johnson County Emergency Management or somebody else, but yes, I'd be happy to work with somebody. But I don't know if any that stick out with Evergy, but I know they do want to help out with their communities they serve.
I think we'll get a debrief from Steve before he leaves, because I know he had investigated a number of
Yeah.
grants, so we'll get that,
Okay,
We'll
yeah.
pick his brain for.
Right, right.
Yeah,
those
he was,
sources of-
yeah,
That's
he
what I was gonna
one-
say, we gotta get Steve working on this before he leaves.
I know, he's only got till April.
One last big after that.
We'll get that at the top of the list, so, I mean, it's in, we'll
We
make
put
sure
it on
that
the
it's,
top of our minds.
that
so
it's
that we can-
prominent in the work plan for the year.
Yeah, okay.
Another thought along those lines may be, might there be any opportunities coming down through FEMA, and might there be any, typically those require emergency declaration, Mayor, if I'm getting that right. Is there any activity at the governor's level of, in Kansas, of talking about emergency declaration to shape this FEMA money?
Yeah, I haven't heard.
I know
of
that the
statewide-
governor did declare an emergency for the weather, but I don't know that it extends or, or if it would meet the prerequisites of what Kevin is referring to.
Yeah, and I'll just commit to that, when I served as fire chief, I worked with the emergency center, to try to get us, generators at City Hall and the fire station as well, because they're both critical, pieces of our response. And so, I think that's probably a method, or an avenue that we can go through. And there are grants out there for those. We just have to find the right time to plan for them and submit them. So I'd be happy to help Steve communicate that through the county or whoever. I'm willing to help it however you like.
All right.
Sure, we'll chase that,
All
yeah.
right, thanks, Mike. Go ahead,
So-
sorry to.
No, that's great, that's good,
Just
that's
took
why.
one off my list for later in the meeting, so.
Good. So along the lines of Steve, we interviewed for a building inspector position. I think I described in my email about Steve's retirement that we're moving Cameron into the department head position. He's the building official, and then we need to fill his spot with a building inspector. So we have advertised that on multiple sources. We received 24 applications, 20 of which were good qualified applications. Interviewed 3 this week, and we're working with our selected one to come to an employment agreement. So we hope to have that person in City Hall by March 1st, so that we have a month with Steve and Cameron both to transition before Steve leaves on April 1st. So that's going well. More good news today, we took the bids for the roundabout project. We were expecting the construction to be about $930,000. The low bid was Lineweaver Construction, and that was just over $830,000. So $100,000 there under what we had been planning and what's in our CIP. So now the CIP has some of that funded. Now we're gonna ask for a reserve, a contingency during construction, of course. So, but that does free up some CIP money for other projects or other avenues. So that was good. We got 6 bids on that, and they were all pretty tight. We had the next low bidder, I think, was $858,000, and then the next was in the 880s. So it was a good tight grouping. So we're pretty pleased with that. And I think I mentioned last time that Custom Foods was going to come to you with an incentive request. We just did the final plat for the development. That just got pushed back another meeting. It's just some coordination on the applicant side there. So Patrick and I have been working with them closely. We're shooting for the March meeting for that public hearing currently. So you'll see that hopefully then. And that's all I have on my list.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Patrick?
Yes, just briefly wanted to update you on the property at 8225 Delaware. Last week I was contacted by Major Gardner's son, Donald Gardner. Had a really nice conversation with him. He was interested in helping his mother possibly sell the property, and he had was just approaching me to see, you know, what the council's temperature would be on delaying things if they found the buyer. But then the following day, he told me that just he wasn't going to do that anymore. I guess he had talked to Majel, and she had her own ideas about herself trying to sell it. So I informed him that, you know, things were proceeding ahead. After February 22nd, that's when the contractor, you know, by virtue of the notice that I served on Majel and Donald Gardner, the contractor will have access to the property to do the asbestos testing, and then ultimately demoing the house and removing the materials. So they're aware of that, and you know, that's the last I've heard. So at this point, we'll just proceed as the documents indicate. So happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Questions for Patrick? Okay, thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Brad?
I only have one item, Mayor, and it's pretty brief. There will be no planning commission meeting in February.
No February Planning Commission meeting for DeSoto. Okay. Well, that's not good news. We need stuff going on in that plan.
Well, I think we'll be pretty busy in March. We'll have
Okay.
a few irons
All
in
right.
the fire with some site plans, so
All right.
just a temporary lull.
Council comments. Danny, would you like to start tonight?
You forgot.
Yeah, Mayor, if you,
I'm sorry, Danny.
push one straight. Just wanted to say, good job on the street department. Mike can pass that on. I heard some good comments on the clearing of the streets during our weather situation and the coldness, and everything taken care of. And that's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Len, I'm sorry I skipped you. I apologize.
That's okay, and I have some really great news today too. So excited. We had the Kansas Department of Labor inspector here at 9 o'clock this morning to walk through all of the city departments and all the city buildings. And I am so excited to say that we received an excellent rating. There were just a couple of small things regarding some fire extinguishers being dated when they're checked out, and the street department had 0 infractions. I mean, 0. That's just unheard of. But if you haven't been out to the city shop lately, you should check it out. It's pretty awesome what those guys are doing out there, and everything was in ship shape. I mean, I was so excited when he called me and told me that he couldn't believe a city of our size was in such great shape. So kudos to our city employees, because they really knocked it out of the park, even with dealing with the snow and the ice and all of that. But everybody, the water department, the wastewater treatment plant, the wells, everything looked great. So just really proud of them.
Well, good news. Thank you for that report. Kevin Ritter, anything to share with the council tonight?
No, I'll just continue with the, the thoughts of getting a generator for the city hall, and if we, if it's written correctly with the content that is our EOC, and, the needs that we need to provide that. So I think that'll help our score. So like I said, I'm just going to work with emergency managers and anybody to help make that go forward. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Kevin, Honda Michael.
Yes, Mayor, question and a proposition. First question, Mike, you talked about the electricity. Can you talk about how city utilities fared in terms of the water plant and the wastewater plant, as well as water distribution, given the extreme weather we had?
Yeah, so none of the electrical outages affected us at all. Both plants have full backup generation capabilities. Our main lift station has full backup generation capabilities. None of these smaller pump stations do, but we didn't have power outages long enough to cause any problems there. The one issue we did have that I know of, there may have been others, we had several meters freeze up. What happens when it gets so cold for so long is there some of the individual water meters at individual homes, if they're not buried deep enough or if the lid comes off of them, the meter will freeze up. So we've been dealing with a handful of those. And we also have the water line right in front of City Hall is pretty shallow. And we had it break during, I think, the coldest night of the snap. And it reminded me that it broke the last time we had extreme cold, just exact same place. So I think in the kind of the capital plan for the water department, we'd like to replace this line, couple blocks of that line in front of City Hall. Water production was not affected at all, as I mentioned. Power wasn't out. I don't know if we ever lost any power to the wells. I do believe we did lose power at the water plant, but again, it's got backup generation. We don't have backup power generation for any of the wells, so that's one thing. We do have quick connects, so we could bring a portable power generator. We do have a portable generator that we could have implemented, but did not have to. So all in all, aside from the water breaks and the meters freezing, I think we fared pretty well.
Excellent. Excellent. And Mayor, my proposition or suggestion might be, given the good news on the bids on the roundabout proposal, might we be able to discuss after the contractor that's in place, using the savings for that, potentially accelerate the downtown streetscape plan from 2022 to 2021? We've got $75,000 program for that. I'd just like to throw that out there maybe for future discussion to be able to move that up into 2021.
All right.
And that's all.
All right, thank you. So Mike, you took note of that, so maybe you can bring back some thoughts on that at a future meeting?
Yep, I sure can.
All right.
I don't know. Yep.
Rob, anything to share tonight?
Yeah, kudos to the water department guys, and I came up here to the gym to work out, and there was some emergency lights out there, and that was like 8 or 9 o'clock when it was already dipping below zero, and those guys in the gas Atmos guys, because there was a gas break at the same time, both were out there till after 1 o'clock, I believe, busting their butts in cold water, sub-freezing temperatures, and got it taken care of. So in conditions like that, that's where they stood above and beyond and did their jobs. So thank you, thank you. The other thought, we had talked about emergency generation. I don't know the logistics of it, but in situations like this, I mentioned to Mike about the possibility of Say Hall, the emergency area, being a warming shelter, or at least providing, if it's citywide, we may have issue, but where we have emergency situations where blocks or something, at least having capability of providing at least a discussion of that in the emergency plan. So that's it.
Okay. Lori?
I don't really have anything too exciting, but I would like to say that I did take the time, even though I wasn't on the chamber meeting, I did take the time to listen to the mayor give his State of the City address, and I thought that was a really good job, Rick. So you did a good job on that, Mayor. And then on top of that, Wednesday morning, he represented us very well at the Kansas City Mayor's Prayer Breakfast that we didn't get to eat breakfast, but we got to see a really good program on that, and the mayor did a really great job representing us a couple of times on that, with opening prayer and with comments about the city. So just did a great job.
Okay.
I'm always happy to see you.
Getting really big.
I know, but you represent us so well, and I just think it's good that people know how well you do represent us when we're
Thank
out
you.
amongst other things. So that's it.
Thank you. I just have 2 small items. One of them is, I think we get it every year, I'm sure, it's the notice of the public comments for the Community Development Block Grant Program. So they're having a virtual public hearing March 4th at 2 p.m. So if anyone is interested in participating, Mike, did you get the notice of this?
It's not ringing a bell.
Okay, I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, I'll think of it.
It is coming up, and then this is for you as well. I'm sure you might have gotten it. I don't know if we have any that apply, but it's open season for changing functional classification on our roads.
Yeah.
Until, I think, March 8th.
I did see that. We
If
did that
there's
last
anything-
year.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So I don't, I think we took care of probably everything we wanted to last year, but.
Yeah, remember we did that with cars too at the county level.
Yes,
and-
so that
and
we
with
could
Mark.
get some cars funding on.
Yeah.
We had, one step was to get the classification changed, and then we get it on the cars route.
Right. Yeah, I did get that notice.
And those were the two items I had, so.
I'd be glad to make a motion, we adjourn.
Mayor, sorry. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Kevin, you can stay in the meeting. You're late.
Well, Mike, I just had a question for you real quick, and it is, we don't have to do business on it, but with the mention of Steve's retirement, are you making plans for who may be our merch manager?
We're still working through that. I know we have to designate a particular person, and I have some ideas about that on the personnel side. I'd be glad to talk to you about that offline. If you have any ideas there, any thoughts, let me know.
Well, like I said, if I work with you to try to get this, the emergency backup generators at the things, then that will be a key component, so I just wanted to.
Yeah. Understood. I'll take, okay if I call you tomorrow? We can touch base on that.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you.
Okay, yep.
All right, we're really adjourned. We're double adjourned. I'll knock it out. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you again.
I did, didn't I?
Okay. Should I come in tomorrow with the check, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your help. Good night, everyone.
Good night. I didn't realize that piece of property one was so huge.
I did have a question for her. I want to know how she got over to her property across the railroad track.